Riverview, Florida is one of Tampa's most popular suburbs, and for good reason. So today we're going to take a tour of Riverview, Florida, and take a look at the amenities that Riverview offers, as well as some things that you really want to know if you're going to move there, like information about schools, housing, and all that kind of stuff. Let's go. Here, thanks to Google, you can see how close Riverview is to Tampa, and that location is one of the reasons it's such a popular area. And in purple, you can see a very rough and not at all exact border of Riverview. I'm starting today on Bloomingdale Avenue, which is the border between Brandon and Riverview. This is Riverview's northwest corner. Bloomingdale Avenue can get extremely crowded at times. Here is a 55 and over neighborhood, just one of many in Riverview. This one is still under construction and is very convenient to shopping and restaurants. The new villas here are going to be around 1,700 square feet, 2 beds, 2 baths, and start in the low 300,000s. In this area is one of my favorite neighborhoods, which I'll show in just a second, but let me talk about schools in the area first. There's the Winthrop Charter School, which has an A- rating from niche.com. And I know it looks almost rural here, but don't be fooled because this is a highly populated area with lots of subdivisions and people, and sometimes these narrow roads are very, very full. In fact, that's one of the biggest complaints about Riverview, the high amount of traffic and an infrastructure that hasn't kept up with the population, which creates major traffic backups. Not far from there is one of the small satellite campuses of Hillsborough Community College, and then Sims Elementary School, which also scores well with a B from niche.com. And even though there are no houses currently for sale in this neighborhood, and I've done a video on this before, I just have to mention it again, it's Winthrop Town Center. This is a multi-use planned development that includes a variety of housing styles as well as shopping and professional buildings, healthcare, boutique shops, salons, daycares, banks, some great local restaurants like Cali Brandon and Dats Riverview, and of course no Florida shopping center is complete without Publix. Our Riverview, Florida tour continues now even closer to Tampa. This area of Riverview has a lot of condo, apartment, and townhome complexes, and this very popular movie theater. To give you just a little perspective, this is the theater I come to with my family, and I live in Valrico. There are many single-family home subdivisions, and here is Spoto High School, which gets a C+ on Niche, and nearby is Ippolito Elementary, which also gets a C+ from Niche. Now let's head south on Highway 301 through the heart of Riverview to the Alafaya River, and we'll start at a relatively new landmark, Tiki Doc's Bar and Grill. I haven't yet tried it myself, but it looks pretty great from the outside. Another one of the main reasons that Riverview, Florida is such a popular Tampa suburb is that it's big, and there's a lot of construction going on, including these townhouses at Colusa Creek. For example, last week, one of these 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhomes was listed at $271,000 and was only on the market for 2 days. Townhouses are popular for lots of reasons, especially the price point, and there are lots of developments like this one around Riverview. Here you see Riverview High School, an A-rated school according to Niche, and you can see that there are lots of shopping centers and restaurants. For restaurants, there are lots of chains, but also some local favorites and even some breweries. Someone recently asked me about nightlife in Riverview, and, well, there are a few bars, but it's certainly not what Riverview is known for. Hey, and if you're a local and you know of nightlife that I don't, please comment below for our viewers who want to know. Well, what Riverview is known for is its subdivisions like this, and there are tons of them. Some of them are older and more well established, but there are lots of areas in Riverview that look like this right now. There's a home for sale right now in this subdivision listed for $399,000. It's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. This is an incredible price increase over the last several months. Of course, subdivisions come in all sizes and price points like this gated community. At the time of filming, there was only one home for sale. It was on the lake and listed for $899,000. There are some houses still under construction in this neighborhood, but some, if not all, by the time I post this video, are already sold. Once again, with Google's help, we can see that we started at the top of the screen, but then in the middle and the bottom there are seemingly endless small streets making up the kinds of subdivisions I'm showing you today. In this area of Riverview, there are lots of schools scattered throughout the region, like Collins Elementary, a B-rated school, and Summerfield Elementary, a B-. I mentioned that there are lots of restaurants in the area, and there are lots of these strip mall shopping centers. For shopping in Riverview, well, that depends on your perspective. Some people would say that Riverview has everything a person needs because there are numerous and easily accessible grocery stores, and even Marshalls and Bealls and Sam's, etc., and some small local shops. But for larger shopping areas with more choices, you'd have to go outside Riverview. But given its location, that's pretty easy to do. There are many professional services as well in Riverview, including healthcare with lots of small medical facilities throughout the middle and southern parts. And there is St. Joseph's Hospital. I hope you get a good sense of the kind of place Riverview is. It's almost entirely residential with lots of recent and planned growth. It's a very large suburb, so because of that and the availability of homes, it's particularly popular right now. Thank you so much for being here today. In the description box, you'll see a couple of things that might be helpful to you if you are moving to the area or if you're buying a home. And of course, feel free to comment and like and share. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.